So once a day, good day everyone. So I'm the first reporter of the PGED, or the Peace and the Global Education, Chapter 10, sharing the Earth resources. So in a world of great wealth, there is a multitudinous sum of people who lives in absolute poverty. The Human Development Report in 2003 indicates of the world's 6 billion people, 12 billion live on less than $1 a day. The extent of poverty is indicated as well in the other measures. For instance, 925 million people are undernourished. FAQI fact, as cited in the PhilStar September 16, 2010, 140 million primarily aged children are not enrolled in a more than I'm sorry. 140 million primary age children are not enrolled in more than 2.6 billion people. Almost half of the world total do not have access to basic sanitation, with more than 1 billion still using unsafe sources of drinking water, or Millennium Project of 2002 to 2006. So di na makaligtaan ang kalisod sa ato ang kinabuhi, labaw na sa tibuok world. Kumbaga, in the world, even though na makaingon ta na ang ato ang world is full of necessaries, treasures and nature that it giving, di na makaligtaan na naadyoy maghirap sa atoang tibok sulok sa atoang mundo. So, according to the UNICEF, 2005, 30 children aged 5 and below die each day due to the poverty. That is about 210,000 children each week, just under 11 million children each year. They die quietly in some of poorest village on earth. Far removed from the serenity and the conscience of world, poverty is the also major factor why numerous women die in pregnancy or childbirth. The UN Millennium Project 2002 to 26 report that more than 500,000 women die every year from the pregnancy-related causes. So the poverty, what do you mean by poverty? Poverty or kahirapan na nagpapahirap sa atin, lalo na sa mga mahihirap, yung kulangan sa pagkain, yung walang matitirahan, yung walang masusuot. And according to it, 30,000 children below 5 ang namamatay sa kahirapan. And also, half the million, and also pregnant women also are died every year from pregnancy, because ibig sabihin lalo sa mga buntis na nahihirapan din sa kahirapan ay madali ding mamatay. Because of the kahirapan kasi siya, bali kulangan siya og nature para sa mga buros or sa buntis. Kasi di din makakaligtaan ang kalisod sa tong kinabuhi kung ano din magpatakbo ato ang world. In the Philippines, 4.7 million families, or 269% of the population, were poor in 2006. The average poverty line for the family or 5 was determined to be 6,270 per month on the individual basis. To 32.9% of the population, or 27.6 million Filipinos, were poor, or PDI March 9, 2008. So next one. The tragic gap. So what do we mean by tragic gap? Tragic gap. While an alarming number suffers from poverty and the accompanying Accompanying misery is bring a smaller number of the world's population based on the abundant wealth. The richest 5% of the world people, for instance, receive of 114 times the income of the poorest 5%. The richest 1% receive as much as the poorest of 57%. Similarly, the 25 million richest Americans have as much income as almost 2 billion of the world's poorest people. So kung unsa ang kadako sa percentage sa mga dato is mo po'y kadako pod sa kapobrehon ang percentage na makuha sa mga kapobre. Lain kay no dili unfair para sa mga pobre og dato kasi haba ang mga dato kay always nagapatagko ilahang percent while ang pobre is nagpadako pod ang kuha sa ilaha. The combined wealth of the world's 200 richest people is $1 trillion, while the combined income of the 582 million people living in 43 less developed countries is $146 billion or HDR by HDR 2000. Furthermore, the developing world spent of $13 on debt repayment for every $1 received in grant of, according to World Bank 1999. So the tragic gulf between the rich and the poor is also reflected in the Philippine situation. For example, Sulu province in Mindanao had an 88.8% incidence of poverty, while Metro Manila's poverty incidence was only 4.3%, according to the Philippine Human Development Report of 205. So the PHDR also reported stark contrast in poverty-related measures of life expectancy and percentage of high school graduate between the two provinces. Life expectancy of birth in Manila was at 69.2 years in 2000, while in Sulu it was 52.23 years. Percentage of high school graduate in Metro Manila was 74.3%, while in Sulu it was only 18.1%. It is surprised then that Sulu is one of the top conflict affected areas in Philippines. So, see situation where huge number of people can join and culture run unnecessary while the few takes pleasure in having plethora of materials chooses is state violence. Structural violence refers to the system institution policies that meet some people's human needs, need, or want at the expenses of others. Hungry and poverty are symptoms of violence, according to Kawagasto and Garon eds. 2006. These systems, institutions, and policies are well entered in global economic international under control by power nation statement, international agencies, and transnational corporation where inequitable trade practice preview resulting in more trade gaps between the rich and the poor. So di jud kataligtan ang mga unsay naagid sa dato o sa pobre kay habang ang mga pobre is nagaapayahay sa ilang kinabuhi while ang mga dato is nagpaayahay sa ilang kinabuhi ug di jud kaligtaan na nindot sa ilang kinabuhi sa lifestyle nila ang sa mga pobre food is nagkalisod pod di jud pod nato matago pero lisod jud kung pobre jud kay ka kanang wala jud kay bisag kusing na naa sa imuha. It has a difference between it kasi although we have a differences kung unsay lifestyle pero makita nimo ang gap kung unsa jud na as in between. So other causes of poverty. So another causes of poverty. What are there? So what other factors explain this inequality? Historians, political scientists, and peace educators, among others, have offered explanation for this phenomenon. These cases more frequently pointed to are as follows. War, armed conflict disrupt the people's livelihood and all productive activities. In Mindanao, Philippines, for example, it was estimated that over the period of 1970 to 2001, the output loss was approximately between 5 billion to 7.5 billion pesos an- annually, by Barbaran as cited by PHDR 2005. In these investment opportunities that were lost were be counted in, the economic cost of the war in Mindanao would amount to 10 billion pesos annually. Also, the poor of the five provinces with the highest poverty incidence in the Philippines are found of war-torn Mindanao, Solo, Tawi-Tawi, Basilan, at Zamboanga del Norte. So, political system created by local political elites that have combined with profit motive economic system that reduce opportunities for most people to earn enough to meet their basic needs. So, the political system. Dahil dyan iya-iya kung unsa dyan na ana. Inequalities distribute of wealth and resource much which has begun in colonial history. Colonization had adverse impact on the colonized nation economic situation. The Developed Education Project in 1985 reported that colonization altered the economies of colonized, ensuring the provision of raw materials for the colonizer and several restricting the development of former. This left colonization has also set an international economic system that assured the West of the steady market of its product, and Philippines indigenous were historically sustaining, but injustice over the centuries beginning with the colonization have destroyed their self-sufficiency. B. and Viola ed. 2004. So those are the other cause of poverty. Environmental conditions. Some places are blessed with more abundant resources, while others have to contend with the land that cannot yield crops. So, in this situation, nadyo mga lugar na murag abundant sila na makapagtanom sila og nindot, and napoy uban like dili sila makakuan like urban and rural. Urban is where the place mga provinces na grabe mga kahoy ug mga yuta na para tamnan og mga gulay. While the rural is a city life, bali puno nag mga puro na mga bato-bato na murag dili na pwede ikatanom. Overutilization of resource. Coral reefs had been destroyed, forests had been logged, and agricultural lands have lost much topsoil due to over-applicants of pesticide by previous generation causing reduced yield. So, in this one is overutilized resource. For example, is sa dagat, ang pagsira sa dagat, usually sa pagsira sa dagat ay dynamiting, and naapektuhan pud ang mga coral reefs or the species underneath. And others are lack of opportunities such as employment, lack of education, corruption, and overconsumption in greed. Those are the other causes of population. Oh, I joke. Those are the other causes of poverty. So this is my part, and thank you.